Hey guys, this is SansCorpsTarot, and today I have another pick a group reading for you guys. So we have pre-selected cards and crystals that we can choose from, or that you can choose from. So, well, the reading is going to be all about, are there any snakes in your life? Or, who are the snakes around you? And basically, by this I mean, the people who are trying to deceive you, or, yeah, I'm intending it to be people that are trying to deceive you. Maybe, like a little bit of about situations that may be deceiving may pop up, because I did sort of already draw your cards, so I a little bit already know the messages that are going to come out. But, yeah, so mainly just meditate on your own energy, I think. And then go to whichever group you feel has your energy. So we have 4 groups. Group 1, you have the Dalmatian Jasper. Group 2, you have the red Jasper. Group 3, you have the aquamarine. And group 4, you have the tiger's eye. So yeah, meditate on your own energy, because this reading is going to be centered around, people that are trying to deceive you, or maybe people that have alternate intentions, maybe probably negative intentions. But yeah, I'll see you guys in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 1, if you guys chose the Dalmatian Jasper, this will be your reading all about, the snakes that are around you. So I already chose your guys' cards, so first we'll go through the tarot cards that we got. We got the Devil, which is sort of like a classic, snaky energy, the Devil, so that's funny that that came out. And we also got the Nine of Swords, which is funny because, there's like, I don't know, like a lizard dragon type creature, which is, reptilian, like I'm pretty sure snakes are. I don't know, reptile versus amphibian, I don't know anything about that, but I think they're like, reptiles. But anyway, snakes just remind me of lizards. So it's funny that we got 2 very like obviously snaky cards coming out. So yes, there are snakes around you. I'm getting that idea that because it's the Devil, which is it's a major arcana, but it's also like, a person or an entity. So I think that there's actually, like someone who is a snake around you, like sort of the main snaky energy. And we also got the Ten of Pentacles, which was interesting. And we also got the Page of Wands, which has been coming out for me as like, it's been coming out for me as like a relationship card, but I think in this situation it's talking about, I think it is a work thing, or some sort of something that you're aspiring to. There's something that you hope to achieve, some milestone, some goal, and I feel like it has to do with, if I had to guess honestly, a hobby or a pastime that you hope will garner you a lot of fame and attention and or money. Because we also have this Star, so that was an energy that I was already feeling before this, but then we got the Star, which just sort of confirms that, because the Star is, it can be about fame. Regardless, it's about sort of something that you hope is, a star, a northern light, so to speak, that you're chasing, like some sort of beacon of something, which is interesting because the Page of Wands has been like a beacon of relationship card for me. But in this scenario, I think it's mostly referring to the fact that you have something that you're aspiring to, some goal, and I think that it could very well be creative for a lot of you. For example, you hope to become a famous singer, so you post a song or something, or so you, maybe not even that, but you plan on taking concrete steps to sort of achieving this dream, and I think that you have someone around you. And we also have the Five of Swords, and I think that you have someone around you, and for a lot of you it could be a significant other, but it's someone who is sort of seeing you want this thing, and dream of this thing, and I think they're kind of egging you on towards failure, or they're supporting you, but supporting you in a way where it's actually just very provocative, where they're saying, oh yeah, you should totally go for that. Like, you should totally try to become a famous singer. You should totally post your song on YouTube, because like so many people do that, like barely anyone gets noticed, but like, Justin Bieber did that one time, so like maybe that could be you. It's someone who, I think they give you underhanded compliments or something, little jabs like that, that just sort of feed into your anxiety. They say things like, yeah, no one makes it, but someone did before, so maybe you could be that person in the future. But they say it in a way where they really accentuate the very anxieties that you have, or they accentuate things about the situation that they think could give you anxiety. And it's in some sort of like jealous projecting sense. So what this is also giving me is sort of like Meryl Streep and The Devil Wears Prada. This is interesting because I think that like both those messages, the sort of like fake supportive person in your life who's giving you support but ultimately trying / hoping to see you fail, and then also sort of the theme of The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep and The Devil Wears Prada. Those two messages have come out before in another reading. I forget which, but if anyone knows, please do like comment it down below. But so yeah, this is gonna be Meryl Streep and The Devil Wears Prada, because I think that she hired, or she had something to do with the hiring of Anne Hathaway as an intern, and Meryl Streep herself is some very high up, Wonder Woman in the fashion industry. She's like a CEO of something, or she runs some company. But then it gives you like Coco Chanel type of vibes, or like, I don't know, like oh my gosh, whoever the person at Vogue is, I totally forgot her name. I don't know if it's Anne Winter, if that's totally someone else. But anyway, she's, the head of like some fashion thing, and she is involved somehow in the hiring of Anne Hathaway as an intern. And Anne Hathaway is like, I'm pretty sure she's very good at her job, but like, people just in that industry constantly try to step on each other's toes. And like Meryl Streep, and then also Anne Hathaway's like fake supportive coworker, Emily Blunt, I believe, Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt were sort of trying to undermine Anne Hathaway's success. And so I feel like that could be a similar thing in this situation, with you, because they were like sort of acting like they supported her to her face, they hired her. Theoretically, if you're working with this person, working alongside them to achieve common goals, generally you hope for their success, so because, that would then bring in your success, but they kind of hope for Anne Hathaway's downfall, and they kind of, they step on her toes a lot, and they sort of exploit any weaknesses that they might feel in her. And I'm getting that that's the same situation here with you. Like, there's something that you want to achieve, and I think that it does have something to do with creativity. Maybe for a lot of you it isn't something like blatantly creative as like, wanting to be a singer, but maybe it's something like you're just trying to maybe change careers into something that's a little more, I'm getting a little more childlike, maybe a little more playful. So maybe it's something like you want to just all of a sudden be a teacher now, maybe you've been working in the computer field your whole life, but now you want to be a computer teacher or something. But it's, you have some goal, and I think that it's a goal, and that makes you feel a little insecure, that some aspects of it, and I think that you're insecure because it does sort of require you to step into a creativity that you haven't been very used to stepping into before. So it could very well be something like you coming from a computer science, STEM, science technology type field, or maybe it's just something like you have not ever, done anything musical before, and now you're just sort of stepping into songwriting or singing, like just spontaneously almost. And it just makes it very easy. This situation in context, this endeavor in context to all the other endeavors in your life, make it easy in your eyes to sort of doubt the validity of this endeavor, you know? I feel like it's sort of so novel in a way, it's so new to you, some aspects of it, or it'll just really require you to step out on a limb in ways that you have not before. I feel like you've probably craved stability and security, and you've probably sought out, you know, jobs, programs, universities, situations generally that would try to give you that. And I feel like this situation, this goal that you have will require you somewhat, or it will entail naturally you just sort of stepping out on a limb and showcasing yourself in a way that you haven't before. So maybe it's you posting something on YouTube, but maybe it's also just you simply applying for a job in a different field in which you have like no references, and so you're a little nervous about it. But let's put out, so I also got some Cards Against Humanity cards and Apples to Apples cards because I love them. So let's put those out too. So we have the gays. So maybe for some of you, you are gay. This person who's trying to hate on you is gay. And again, I think this is someone who is like a nice, good connection in your life. They could be a Capricorn with the devil here. You know, we also have more earth energy with the Ten of Pentacles, but then the Page of Wands is fire energy. It may potentially, no, I don't think it's Leo. I think it may be Aries. I don't know. I think it's Aries. Yes, Aries, the Page of Wands. Yeah, they could be Capricorn. They could be an Aries. So we have the gays. We have being rich. My phone dinged when I said that. So maybe they're rich. But again, that just also made me think of like Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada, because it's a very high-end fashion thing. Shapeshifters. I think this is like your energy, you know? You're trying to shapeshift, and it's not so much you feel like it's shapeshift, but it's mostly just like accentuating different parts of yourself, or bringing out different parts of yourself, or bringing out a part of yourself in a different situation. Vikings. Sorry guys, I was sick. And then we have making a speech. Popping the question, which is interesting because I was watching 90 Day Fiancé as I was shuffling these cards. I was concentrating on the cards, don't worry. But like, I've just been like having 90 Day Fiancés play in the background during all hours of the day basically recently. And this card came out immediately as one of the people on the show proposed to their significant other. It was so funny. Literally, the card popping the question came out as like the guy Mike, I'm pretty sure, proposed to Hemina. Yeah. So I think for a lot of you guys, that sort of signaled to me that for a lot of you guys, this could very well be a romantic partner, and maybe it's someone that you're in a relationship with, or but I think really it's someone that you trust ultimately, or someone that you look up to. Maybe it's someone that you've recently built trust with, you know, maybe for some of you it is just something like a coworker that you thought you've become really good friends with, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like for most of you, it's not to say it's someone above you, but I think it's maybe someone that you feel has some sort of power over you. Like, it could be like a parental figure, it could be a friend that you really look up to. Yeah, but ultimately, yeah, I think it would be something like a friendship instead. Texting your ex, for some of you, could be an ex, you know? Maybe it's an ex that you keep around, that you're still friends with. And they're like, you know, they're supportive of you going out and changing careers, but they're like, oh, do you think you really have what it takes to be a teacher or something? Yeah, like maybe they'll say stuff like that, and it's, you know, it is basically coming from, you know, projection. Like, this reading is meant to validate that, you know, like your anxieties, I think a lot of your anxieties are being exacerbated by this person and by what they're saying. Noisy and interesting. Yeah, noisy, just to say like that's them, you know, they're noise in the background. For a lot of you guys, you know, I will say, if this is a relationship, this energy is hard, you know, because if this is someone that you love and care about, and, you know, they're being sort of like outright supportive of you, they're not like saying anything like definitively negative about this, it can be hard to sort of validate this energy, you know, when someone says something that is sort of like subjective, you know, something that's an opinion, you know. Maybe you say that you felt hurt by something they said, but they can throw back at you and be like, oh, but, you know, I thought it was just innocent and innocuous. You know, maybe it's something like you say, or you feel like them saying, oh yeah, like, some people have been able to become like good teachers, but most people actually feel really unfulfilled in their job, you know. But they're saying, you know, but maybe you could be the one that's not going to be unfulfilled. Maybe you'll actually like it and be good at it. And then, you know, and so you say, okay, like that hurt me and that made me feel a little anxious about it. But then they say, well, I was saying that I was supporting you, but I was just giving you the facts, you know. It can be hard to validate the real anxiety that they give you because, you know, maybe it is sort of strictly factual what they say, or maybe there's like some nugget of truth to what they're saying, but it is like just spun in such an undeniably manipulative way. And so this reading is definitely meant to validate your feelings, guys. Even if this is just like this is definitely like at least a friend. This is someone who knows about your achievements and someone who specifically knows your anxieties too, and someone who's going to sort of pounce on them. And I think that, you know, this is also to say like, well, we'll get some cards about it, but I don't think you guys should, you know, don't discredit this person as, you know, really loving you or really wanting to support you just because of these things that they say. I think that a lot of it is sort of from a subconscious level, and I think it is sort of a level of projection, but it's not, you know, it's not fair to you, most definitely. So I think that, well, let's get some advice for you guys. Let's get some advice for pile number 1. Yeah, this is also, like, this is something that you, like, want the Ten of Pentacles with, you know? This is, you hope to become a teacher because you really love computers, but you're like, I hate how detached it has me from human life and connections with people. And you're like, I love computers and I love learning about them and, like, fixing them or whatever, or programming stuff on them, but I hate, or I just also really love like interacting with people and helping them. And so you're like, oh my gosh, perfect solution, I'll become a computer science teacher. But, you know, this person, and, you know, you really feel fulfilled by the prospect of helping people, by the prospect of like sort of the creativity that this new venture will bring you, you know? You feel like singing could really be your passion, you know, because this is something that you've dreamt of for a long time. I just don't think it's something that you've put into action for a long time, you know. For a long time you've wanted to be a teacher, or you've wanted to be someone who helped someone. For a long time you wanted to be a singer, you've loved music, you wanted to songwrite, you've fantasized even about songs that you would write, but you just never took any steps to writing them down, producing them. You never took any steps to actually like apply to teacher positions, but now you actually are doing it. And so this person, I think this person almost is like intimidated in a sense, guys, honestly. I think that they see you stepping out on a limb in your life in a way that they haven't. We get mourning, the world awaits you. So this is your advice. Your advice is to absolutely sort of ignore any, I mean, and it's so much easier said than done, but just, I mean, try your best to ignore and detach from these little things that these people are saying. And I think that validating the fact that they are saying little undermined things like this will help you in doing that. Because I think before, maybe you thought that these insecurities and anxieties were things that you genuinely were scared of and things that were valid to be afraid of. But I think in reality, a lot of these things almost were maybe planted in you by this person, or these things were exacerbated, these insecurities and anxieties were exacerbated by this person. And so I feel like by recognizing that, validating that, you'll be able to sort of detach from those insecurities a little bit better and feel like the world does await you. Because yeah, that's your advice. Recognize that this thing is going to go well for you. Keep doing these steps. Keep walking confidently towards this thing, towards this dream. The world does await you. And let's get one more card. Let's get one more oracle card. One more Pure Magic Oracle card for pile number 1 about the snake energy. I think that for a lot of you guys, it will involve, well, it doesn't only involve creativity, but involves verbal, vocal expression of your creativity. And even if you guys don't actually speak or during it, you know, with your voice, it could be, you know, written communication. But I think this is something like, you know, teaching, spreading knowledge, or, you know, songwriting, or even something like, you know, yeah, tarot on YouTube, or, you know, tweeting, or trying to become like an influencer, you know, just something about getting almost, you know, becoming a leader almost in your own way. And I feel like you think of this person as a leader almost, like in their field, or in, and what's important to them in their life. You feel like they're a leader, and so it's someone that you kind of look up to. But I think that they've sort of really walked the line as well. They've sort of been trying to seek out stability and security in their life, so they see you sort of becoming very creative and really sort of doing something in a really new direction, something that requires risk, and they recognize how they have not done anything in their life really that requires risk. They haven't followed their passions and their dreams. They haven't felt that like giddiness or childlike dreaminess or fantasy about something in so long. And then you do feel that way about something and you're willing to pursue it. And they see that and they're jealous of it, and those jealousies sort of peek through in the way that they talk to you about it. Banyan blessings. I don't know how to pronounce it. It says security of the hermit, expansion, stability. Yeah, so expansion and stability. I feel like right now you are building stability in this thing that you're trying to achieve. And I think that also the message of this reading is that you will achieve it. Sorry, I've been holding this like way above the camera. But yeah, you're going to achieve this thing, and I think that you're being encouraged to continue on the little steps that you've been putting in. You know, if this is something even like you just wanting to change careers, or maybe this is even something like you just wanting to start up like maybe a side hustle, you know. Maybe you're like, oh, I really like I like earrings, and I want to make and sell earrings on the side, and that's just like a goal. And now maybe that's always sort of been in your head, but now you've been putting in little steps to actually, like, you know, get clay and make shapes and plan ideas and actually start to make prototypes and make the earrings and test out different ways and try to test out durability and stuff. And you start slowly try to like actually create something, but it's just one step at a time. And that's the stage that you've been in now, and that's the stage in which this person has been trying to implant a lot of doubts in you. And so now you're sort of like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to see it through? Will this turn into the thing that I want it to turn into? And yes, expansion. Yes, it will. And it will provide security. But I mean, the hermit, I think that you are really, I think that you're being called to detach yourself ever so slightly from this relationship with this person, or from at least talking to this person about this thing. I think that you're supposed to go hermit mode with this goal of yours. You're supposed to not really tell many people about it. You're supposed to keep it as sort of your own individual, independent focus and thing that you work towards and chip away at a little bit every day. But it's not supposed to overtake your life yet. I think that you're supposed to give a little, like every day to this goal, you know, and conceal that in a way from this person, or just try to sort of avoid conversations about this thing, about this goal with this person, because it will be probably a big part of your life soon, especially with the 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Whatever this goal is that you're working towards, you will achieve it, and expansion, you will be able to expand from it. The world awaits you, mourning. But you do have, like, you know, you have some steps to take before you get there. And so don't think that it's never going to happen, but also don't think that it's going to happen instantly, quickly, with ease. You know, it is going to come with its fair amount of obstacles or hurdles to walk over, because it is something new, but it's also something that's going to bring about a lot of abundance. I feel like it'll be very good for you. Viking, I feel like honestly it was also really your energy with this goal that you have. With the brutality and the aggression of the concept of a Viking, I was getting that's probably how this person's subconscious feels towards you and achieving this goal a little bit. But I feel like Vikings drive, their ambition, I feel like that is you, that's your energy that's coming through in that card, in that aspect, and you're going to achieve this thing. I have a lot of confidence in that. It may take you some time, it may take you some effort, but you're gonna achieve this thing. But yeah, okay, pile 1, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, please do subscribe. It really does help out my channel and everything, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this reading. But yeah, I'll leave it here and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, if you guys chose this not Dalmatian Jasper, this red Jasper, this will be your reading all about who are the snakes around you, or, are there any snakes around you? So first we'll start off with your tarot cards, because I already chose cards for you guys. So we have the 6 of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So immediately when these cards came out, I was like, okay, is this something actually good? Because these are two good cards, but it's is this a nice, fun giving Page of Cups energy? Because the Page of Cups is sort of he's young, he's naive, he's sort of willing to give away his energy and his emotions and his time and resources to things that maybe he hasn't thought too much about. But I was wondering, is this working out for him? Is this not? And then we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, I think this is, so there is a snake around you guys. But I think that this is someone that you met kind of recently. And I think that this is someone who's tried to become part of your inner circle or part of your, elite squad very quickly, I feel like. We also have the 8 of Wands. And honestly, I didn't even connect that literally before I said it in the moment, because I had shuffled these cards a while ago. And I was sort of wondering why the 8 of Wands was here, but now I realize it's because this person has tried to become very close to you very quickly. And then we have the Hierophant, which is, this little sponge in the Mundane Magic Tarot deck, which I absolutely adore. But, so I think this is someone you met recently, and this is giving me the vibe, this is either, a new friend or a new, co-worker potentially, or a new, collaborator. I think it's someone that you met recently and that, you'd sort of had plans to maybe potentially, join up with them, or I think that they sort of projected that onto you. So this is someone who met you, and I think that they really quickly wanted to latch onto you. They saw a lot of potential in you, but I don't know if they were really very thoughtful about it, or, I don't think that this was them really seeing you as a person being like, yep, I want to be that person's coworker in our tech field because I believe they have the most cutting edge, technological abilities. No, I think this is a coworker who maybe thought that, oh, they could get close to you because they see that that you were really able to get a promotion maybe really quickly, and they want to they're new to the company maybe, and they want to weasel their way into a similar promotion. And so they're trying to get close to you because they want to sort of see how you do things. They want to they want to be the sponge. Wasn't getting that message before either, but now I am. They want to be the sponge, they're sort of trying to be like a fly on the wall, but not even. They're trying to actually incorporate themselves as part of your life, they're trying to become, this is maybe someone that you met out with friends, and they're just someone who immediately, asked for your phone number, wanted to be your friend, wanted to hang out with you guys for the rest of the night, wanted to go maybe even back to your guys' apartment at the after party, maybe to watch a movie or something. This is someone who just really quickly maybe they got your contact information, they quickly were like, oh, I think we're similar, we should be friends. Or they were like, oh my gosh, I'm new here, like I'm new to the company, I need someone, I think we would be, best friends. Let's sit together during lunch or something. It's gonna be that kind of vibes. And maybe this is, maybe you guys are young and you are like, in a program or something, or maybe you're old and in a program, but maybe you guys are, this is something like, you're in a class and this is like a peer who's maybe they're even, they're trying to get, answers for like a project or something, or they're like, oh, we should totally do our project together, but actually it's because they know that you're just so good at this subject that you'll get, and they know that you get good grades, so that they know they'll get a good grade if they work with you on this project, and they know that also maybe you'll do most of the work too. So that's who I believe that person is. So it's like I don't know, it's just not really not so much of a genuine energy, if I'm being real. This Monday Magic Tarot cards, they have little like poems on them written by the author, and I can't help but notice the gray rinse water. It talks about, a sponge, complete saturation, each cell and every pore overrunning, gray rinse water, projections, societal norms, things you were taught. So yeah, this is like giving me the vibe that like this person is a little bit like the gray rinse water in your life. They're just sort of, they're trying to wring you out for the things that they can get from you almost. This is just something like, this is an insincere energy basically. This is someone who, if this is like a coworker, this is probably someone who, like, for your own sake, maybe your own like mental wellness sake, you probably should keep maybe at arm's length, maybe eat with them during lunch, hang out with them, but don't, maybe don't do projects with them. Don't, invest your future with them, basically, because I don't think that they're very trustworthy. This gives me the energy of someone who would, they'd totally like copy your idea for, like, for example, if you guys like are music collaborators, they'd copy your idea for a song and then they'd go and do it themselves and produce it themselves and like profit off of it and not give you any credit. Yeah, so this is just simply put not a very trustworthy energy. So we also got some Cards Against Humanity and Apples to Apples cards. So our Cards Against Humanity cards, yeah, we're very apt. So we have the hustle, which, yeah, I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's what this person feels like. This person feels like a hustler. They're out for things. Being a mother effing sorcerer, they're out to get things and to make things happen for themselves, and so they don't really have too much regard for other people. This could even be someone, like, I'm getting that, I don't think this is for too many of you, but for some of you it could be someone who is like, they're presenting to you themselves to you as a real potential like partner or significant other, but actually they just want like sex, intimacy, they want access to you, they want, maybe you like take them out for food and you pay for things and they like that. They just want things from you. Breaking out into song and dance. Yeah, for a lot of you, maybe you guys met this person while you were out, but I think that this sort of, there may be, this is similar to pile number one, but it's like, like sort of Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt's energy and The Devil Wears Prada. This is giving me the vibe of someone who would like, yeah, it could be that this is in a like creative sense. Maybe you guys are creators and this is someone who presents themselves to you as willing to collaborate, but actually they're trying to like steal your ideas. Because look, we also got sneaky and we got mysterious. They're trying to be mysterious because they want to be sneaky and they want to put things past you. They're trying to really weasel their way into your life, This is someone who will like, they'll say, oh my gosh, like, we're so similar. You like fashion, I like fashion. Oh my gosh, what's your Instagram? Oh my gosh, this is my Instagram, let's follow each other. And then they DM you on Instagram and they're like, oh my gosh, want to get Starbucks? And then maybe when you guys like get Starbucks, maybe for some of you, you like pay for it or something, or maybe like they offer to pay for you, and then like in the future you feel obligated to pay for them, but then they keep saying, but maybe they, I don't know, it's like they try to sort of establish some sort of codependent relationship with you. it feels like for some of you. Light. I feel like, yeah, this person tries to keep it lighthearted with you. They don't try to get very serious. I don't think that they try to really let you in on a lot of their own emotions, because I think that they are sort of trying to keep it surface level so that you don't really get a lot of leverage on them. I feel like this really is, the more I look into their energy and like feel into it, I am getting like a very sort of like vindictive, like problematic energy from them, you guys. Honestly, I would sort of say really keep them at arm's length. Seth Rogen, famous. Yeah, I think that they're trying to like become famous. Yeah, so like if they were that friend who like tries, like, I don't know, like they invite you to Starbucks, but then it's like they try to become friends with you, but actually they want to be friends with you. I don't know, maybe you have access to things. Maybe you have a social life that they're really jealous of. Maybe they see you out and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, they see you really into fashion, but, you know, and you get into like, you can afford really fancy clothes or something, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't afford these clothes, like, but, you know, it's so cool that you can afford these clothes. It's so cool that you go shopping all the time. It's like they try to use you for something. And for a lot of you guys, it may not even be that obvious what it is that they're using you for. But it could really just be they're using you for image or something. Maybe they just want to seem like someone that would be in close connection to someone like you. Really bad dates, yeah, this person. And then riding the bus. Yeah, this is with riding the bus and then really bad dates. That's how it came out. This one first. But it gave me the vibe of someone who would like, they'd go out on a date, they'd pretend, almost like that energy of like, what's her name on Euphoria, Maddie on Euphoria, you know, like someone who tries to pretend their life is a lot more glamorous than it actually is. Someone who goes out on a date with like a scumbag because he's really rich and they dress like they're really rich, but then the date was like he was, you know, married, or he was an asshole, or it just like went terribly, and you know, they just like went home, they rode the bus home, and they were like just envisioning the day where, you know, they'd meet the right guy who would, like, you know, buy them like a Mercedes or something so that they wouldn't have to ride the bus home. But yeah, it gives me the vibe of someone who like pretends or tries or really wants to portray someone who's probably, you know, if I'm being honest, someone who's maybe famous, more famous than they are, maybe richer than they are, maybe someone who has more going for them financially, economically, maybe just like from a social standard. But yeah, and they see you as someone who has that potential. But yeah, this is someone, I feel like they're using you guys. I don't really like their energy, but let's get some advice for pile number 2 and this snake in their life. Some advice for pile number 2 and this snake. So we have 2 cards. We have Songbirds and Opening Circle. These 2 cards keep coming out, and we have 11 and 33. Yeah, so for a lot of you guys, this is someone who would easily drop you for someone else. So like, even if you think like, oh, okay, that's all right, they can be, you know, my friend, I'll keep them at arm's length, but like, I'll still have lunch with them, I'll still hang out with them, I'll still go shopping with them, because, you know, I just like the company sometimes. I think you're being called to maybe even like second guess that, because this is someone who really, like, if they find someone who they think is more, you know, they could climb the ladder a rung higher, like they would drop you for this person, you know? This is someone who, and especially if this is someone who maybe like you don't like, someone that maybe is like an enemy or someone that you have it out for, or someone you feel has it out for you, this is someone that like they could see that, this person could see that, and they could see that energy as just being power, you know? They see this person as having something out for you, and they see them maybe like acting really really snotty towards you, really rude, really mean. Maybe they act really shady towards you, you know? This is like another snake that you have in your midst, honestly, guys. But like, this is an obvious snake, But then, you know, you have this person in your life who would honestly be like willing to side with that obvious snake because they see that obvious snakiness as like power. And this person just honestly really craves power. You have songbirds, hex breaker, sound healing, final goodbye, release. Yeah, you guys are honestly, with these cards, you're being called to really release this person, honestly. And you guys have free will. It is up to you, you know. You guys can choose to keep this person around in your life. But opening circle, protection, ritual, lessons, simplicity. You guys are being called to protect yourselves heavily. Or to just like really emotionally, mentally detach from this person, be able to have thick skin with them, you know, be able to take, gives me the vibe, this is someone who would give you backhand compliments, you know, this is someone who, if they're meeting someone else, if they're like this, okay, so this just gives me the vibe of like your classic like mean like girl best friend. If you're like a girl, this like the trope of, you know, a girl with the frenemy, like best friend, you know, another girl, and then you guys both go maybe like to the mall or something, and you meet like a really hot guy, and the hot guy comes up to you guys, he approaches you, and you guys are sort of like both wanting his attention, but like this person that you have around you, like this frenemy, this literally is a frenemy, this frenemy that you have around you is willing to like say something to make you look bad in front of this person to make themselves look good, you know. This is the person who would be like, you know, if you say hi to them, maybe you say hi and your voice cracks, and this person would be like, oh, you're so awkward, like in front of this person, and you'll be like in your head like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that, like I am so awkward, but why would you just say that in front of them? And it's because this person is like trying to make you look bad, you know, because they want to look good. They're not trying to make you look bad for the sake of you looking bad. They just want to make themselves look better in comparison. And so that's why you really can't trust this person. But yeah, again, like, you have free will, do what you want. But let's get one more card for pile number 2. One more card of advice for pile number 2. When it comes to this snake. Ooh. Tower, unplug and relax for a spell. Honestly, you guys are being called to, detach from this person, even just temporarily. If this is someone you want to keep in your life, I feel like you're being called to honestly detach from them for at least a little bit. You're being called to do something like tell them, you know, you're going on like a little trip by yourself for a week, or maybe just tell them, you know, you want to have a staycation, but like a self-care staycation where you just sort of spend time with yourself for a week, just sort of detach from their energy for just a little bit of time, and try to really reflect on just yourself, and try to relax, but try to reflect on the situation a little bit. You know, I feel like they've probably given you some red flags. I feel like you're being called to reflect on those red flags and weigh them against each other. This is a yoga pose, you know, but it's a tower card. So yoga is very graceful, and it's not, you know, you don't have any sudden, rapid, aggressive movements in yoga. But the tower, when the tower falls, you do have, you know, intense, aggressive, violent movements. But, you know, so you're being called to sort of try to be graceful in this situation where you can. Don't give this person all of your power, and if you feel like they have too much of your power, try to detach slowly. Because honestly, guys, with the 5 of Pentacles here, I'm really just getting like, and especially with, you know, protection. This card is about protection, and then this card is about hex breaker, and then final goodbye and release. Like, this is giving me the vibes that I think a tower moment will occur eventually with this person. You know, this person, if they've given you little red flags so far that they'd be willing to betray you, I think that it could be that eventually an opportunity will come for them to truly betray you, and it will hurt a little bit. But pile number 2, I'm going to leave it here, you guys. I hope you liked that reading. Well, I hope it resonated mainly, you know. I hope it provided some clarity for you guys. And if it did, please do subscribe because it really does help out my channel. Because, you know, I'm still a little small channel. I'm trying to grow. And, you know, the more subscribers I have, the easier it is for me to grow on YouTube. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, if you guys chose the aquamarine, this will be your reading all about the snakes in your life, in your energetic field. So we got some cards already. So first I'll put out the tarot. So we had Ace of Cups, and then we had 3 of Cups. So I love when the cards are like super oblivious and obvious like this, or, you know, not oblivious, when they're super obvious like this, when they're very literal. So Ace of Cups immediately tells me I think this is probably a romantic connection, you guys. I think this is someone that you have a crush on, that you have a romantic interest in, and I think for a lot of you, it is someone that you actually do, you know, you hang out with them. I think for a lot of you, this is someone that maybe you've been on dates with, or you've just maybe even hung out in sort of like an ambiguously romantic sense. Maybe it was a little unclear to you if it was romantic or platonic. Maybe it was also you hung out with other people. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know, I feel like you know this person, you know? You've hung out with them a few times, but I don't think that this is someone who you've known for a super long time, but this is someone that you sort of recently met. And for a lot of you, actually, I'm getting that it could really be in the crush phase, but for a lot of you guys, I think it could also be that you're actually actively dating them or seeing them. We have Justice, and we have the Knight of Pentacles as well. So I'm getting that I think this is someone who's sort of I've been getting the phrase egging you on. This is someone who's been sort of, you know, teasing you in a way. Someone who's been sort of like dangling their pentacle like in front of you, but they've been, every time you walk towards them, you know, you take a step towards them, they take a step back, it seems. You know, this is someone who you're dating them. Maybe this is someone you met like on Tinder or on social media or online. And, you know, they reached out to you, or they just randomly DM'd you, or you randomly DM'd them because you guys thought that the other was cute, and then you guys got to talking, you know, and, you know, maybe this is strictly virtual, or maybe this is someone that you actually lives like in your town or nearby, and so maybe you guys go hang out with them, but, you know, I think even if anything did happen between you guys physically or intimately, I think that there was no real verbal expression of boundaries on your guys' relationship. So I feel like you were sort of able to romanticize this person and this connection, and they were able to sort of sweep it under the rug and minimize your role, or minimize the role that they sort of implied that they would have in your life. This giving me the vibe of someone who, yeah, they DM'd you. This is literally giving me the vibe of someone who's like, maybe they DM a lot of girls on Instagram. Maybe this is the type of person, not like a scammer, so to speak, but someone who just like, they love DMing girls on Instagram, but they never actually intend on anything going anywhere. Or, you know, they've DM'd like hundreds of girls on Instagram, and they've talked about how, you know, they were so in love with all of them to their faces, but they never actually like took the time or effort to like see them or make a relationship happen. Maybe they did see them, but maybe they never actually, you know, distinctly decided on any sort of relationship status. This is someone who's like very flighty in their energy. They're very, not exactly like well, no, I think it is kind of like a player energy, you know? This is someone who really, like, they want a lot of connections in their life. This 3 of Cups tells me, I really don't think that any of you guys did have an exclusive relationship. I don't think you guys had any sort of, like, structured relationship in any aspect, specifically not in the aspect that you wanted it to be structured in. So if this was someone just like a crush, I think that you wanted to go on a date with them, but instead they just asked you to hang out with them. And maybe you guys hung out, they were really flirty, but then they dropped you back home and nothing happened. And you were like, oh my gosh, like, do they like me? Do they not like me? And maybe like that whole time they're actually like, still hooking up with their ex-girlfriend, or they have plans to get together with someone else from their past or something. This is someone who's only giving you a little bit of energy, but then they're going out and they're giving people, it feels almost like a lot of you in a lot of situations, there really is a third party, and they're giving other people that energy and attention and time that you wanted them to give you. So, or if this is conversely, if this is someone that you actually are dating and are seeing, I think that this person just is not being very, assertive about any sort of label that they would give your relationship, and you're like, okay, well, what's our future together? Do you really like me? Where do you see this going? Maybe they're saying things to you like, oh, like, I'm not really in that right headspace to think about that right now. Like, we're still getting to know each other. Let's take our time a little bit. But then actually, they're going out and they're, begging their ex-girlfriend to get back together with them. This is someone who it almost seems very outrightly that there's like an imbalance in justice. This is someone who is like almost very outrightly going out and they're lying to your face almost very if you had scripted dialogue of all the things they say in their life, it's very obvious that they're lying to you, because they'll say to your face, oh, I don't want a relationship right now, I don't want a commitment, or, I'm just on Tinder to look around, I'm not here for anything serious. But then they're going out and they're like begging someone to go on a date with them. They're begging someone to, be their girlfriend or their boyfriend or their partner, to take them back. And I think that it is because, this person doesn't like to be rejected. And I think that whoever this person is going to is, they rejected them. This person is going back to some sort of like past energy, past connection from someone that did reject them. And I think that they feel that you're not rejecting them. They can feel that you want them. A lot, and this almost gives me the vibe of like this stereotypical situation in which I think if you guys were to like play that sort of hot and cold game where you like withdrew and pretended not to even like them, that they would actually like start giving you a bunch of attention because they wouldn't like that you stopped giving them attention, and they'd almost sort of chase you. So that's very unhealthy. I'm not recommending that at all, but this is giving me the vibe of the person who they just want attention from whoever isn't giving them attention, and they're almost repelled by the people who naturally give them attention because, that's just, they have a lot of things going on inside. I'm not here to psychoanalyze them. I'm not reading their cards, They can come to my readings and, get some self-help messages, but that's not this focus. We also have the Eight of Coins. This was so interesting. We have the Eight of Coins and the Eight of Cups. So 2 8s, 888 could be a synchronicity for you guys. I think, the Eight of Cups was first. The Eight of Cups talks about not being satisfied with what you have. So this poem that they have on the Eight of Cups is almost like the 10 Things I Hate About You poem, where it says, I hate how you chew your food and how you leave your towels on the floor, but then at the end it says, there's nothing left here, but who will fill the U-shaped crater in our bed? So this is like being disappointed at what you have, but also not wanting to let go of what you have. It's needing to abandon what you have, but also feeling abandoned by the fact that you have to abandon this thing. So I think that this is someone who they're trying to present themselves to you as the total package and as the perfect person, but their actions very much speak otherwise. The way that they make you feel speaks otherwise. So they're saying to you, oh, like, I don't want commitment right now. I just want to test out the waters, let's get to know each other more. That's how you have a healthy, trustworthy relationship. And you're like, okay, that makes sense. But then in the back of your mind, it's like, well, if that's how you build a trusting relationship, why am I now doubting your intentions? Why am I now doubting this relationship? Why am I having trust issues now, basically? And it's because, this person is sort of trying to manipulate the situation to be something that it isn't. Or they're trying to manipulate it in a way that maybe they have a version of the truth, you have a version of the truth, but they're trying to manipulate this situation into almost obscuring any truth that your opinion has, or that your, point of view has. They're trying to invalidate it. And so I think that, this person, how they makes you feel is just very different from how they're supposed to make you feel. So it feels like you have this role that you want this person to have in your life. You know what commitment you want from this person. This person does not yet know if they want that sort of commitment from you, or this person will not even talk to you about that sort of commitment. And it feels like you have an idea of how this sort of commitment and the person that you would have this commitment with would make you feel. And this person, if you reflect on it, I think you would realize that this person does not make you feel that way. This person does not make you, if this is someone that you're thinking about marrying, this is someone that you're in an exclusive relationship with now, but you want to, or maybe you're in a relationship with them now, but you want to solidify it into a long-term relationship, and you say, I want to get married, but then maybe this person says, well, I don't believe in the construct of marriage, and you're like, okay, valid, but then actually in the back of your mind, you're like, actually, I feel like you may just have commitment issues, and you may just simply not want to tie yourself down with marriage like that. And there's just some sort of red flag that I feel like you have about this situation. And I feel like for a lot of you, it isn't someone that you have a real committed relationship with. I don't think this is someone that you've known for a really long time. Maybe it is someone that you're exclusive with, but maybe you're wanting to get married today. Maybe they're telling you that they're so in love with you, you're the love of their life, they want to spend the rest of your life with you, but then you're like, okay, well, let's get married then. It's only been a month, but let's get married. We're so in love, aren't we? But then they're like, oh yeah, totally, but actually I don't believe in marriage, so totally we're in love and I would want to marry you, but actually I forgot that I don't even believe in marriage, sorry. And you're like, what the heck, you never mentioned this before now. It seems like you're actually just all talk and no play. That's the wrong phrase completely. All talk and no walk. Or they can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. That's what this person is, They'll dangle this carrot in front of you. 8 of Coins. This is one more than the 7 of Coins, so this isn't just something that you've been putting a lot of tireless energy into. This is someone that you feel like you've been able to actually build something with. Even if you guys do just have a crush on this person, you feel like you've been able to build a friendship with them. If you're dating this person, you feel like you genuinely know them as a person and you're ready to take the next step, You feel like this 8 of Cups, you feel like or 8 of Coins can very easily turn into the 9 of Coins and then the 10 of Coins, You feel like you're ready for that, and you feel like you're on your way to getting that, and that's sort of the way in which you are going now. But I feel like this person is they're not going to want to see that 9 of Coins with you. They're going to want that 9 and 10 of Coins with someone else, or they're honestly only going to want that ultimate fulfillment with whoever is sort of threatening to take it away from them, because they do sort of seek out the flighty energies, because they are sort of seeking out, I don't know, they're playing out some dynamics from childhood. I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but let's look at your Cards Against Humanity and Apples to Apples cards. So we have Keanu Reeves and Mr. Clean right behind you, and then finger painting. So with Keanu Reeves and Mr. Clean right behind you coming out, these two cards together just gave me the vibe of the stereotypical perfect person, the person that will tell you exactly what they want you to hear. And maybe for some of you, if you're not really in any romantic sort of connections right now, maybe this is just talking about a friend who really is trying to become enmeshed with you, a friend who's trying to become your best friend, and a friend that you want to become your best friend, a friend that you're hoping to become best friends with, and that is sort of wants to reciprocate that energy, or you think that they want to reciprocate that energy, but actually I think that this person, they're not really wanting the ultimate fulfillment with you that you're wanting with them. They're wanting it with someone else. I think that there is someone else with this Three of Cups. But yeah, this is the person who will tell you what you want to hear. They will present themselves to you in a way that they know you will like. They will be the person that you want them to be to your face. But then they will go out behind your back and go party with their exes and, show their true colors. Finger painting just tells me I think that you do have fun with this person. You do really enjoy their energy. You like hanging out with them. That could be how you guys met each other too. Maybe you guys met out partying or something, or you met through mutual friends. But I think for a lot of you guys, you could have met through Tinder, social media, or just in general like a dating app. So we have Pride Parade, Elephant in the Room, and Friendship Bracelets. Then we also have Loud and Cold. So with Pride Parade, maybe some of you guys are gay, LGBTQ+, or maybe this also, just like with Pride Parade specifically, this gives me the vibe of just like the stereotypical performative person. This is the person who they have an image that they want to uphold, and basically they like being liked, and so they have an image they like to uphold, and that image is the likable Mr. Clean good guy. They like to be the good guy that everyone likes, regardless of gender that they have. They like to be the good person that everyone likes, the perfect person for everyone. So they're willing to perform in any way to achieve that. Elephant in the Room, they will be very loud, but they will not address the elephant in the room because they know it's there. They know you want to address it, and they're going to be loud to distract from the fact that there's an elephant in the room. So, they're making out with you. They can tell that you want commitment. You want to take it a step further and, be their partner instead of just, someone they're casually seeing. They can tell that. Maybe you even mention it, but then instead they redirect the conversation into something else. They say, well, right now I'm actually going through a lot. And then they start talking about the things that they're going through. They're very loud about things in a way to distract you almost, but it's in a very conscious way. They're doing it in a very willing way, in an intentional way. They're saying, okay, to themselves, they're saying, okay, I can tell that they want to talk about this thing. I don't want commitment with them, so instead I'm going to talk to them about how I'm actually feeling a little seasonally depressed right now, They will be very warm and affectionate with you in some ways, but then they'll also be very cold with you. Friendship bracelets, finger painting, they'll be very they'll have a childlike, fun, playful energy with you. But then if you turn it serious, if you say, well, okay, actually, I'm really upset that you're not really taking the time to talk about our potential commitments together, they'll turn very cold and they'll say, well, I don't appreciate how you are so selfish that you're undermining my seasonal depression just because you want me to put a label on our relationship when you can tell how much I care about you. It's almost like a very gaslighting, manipulative sort of thing that they'll play out with you. Whew. Well, alright. Guys, pile number 3. I'm going to get some final oracle cards for you guys. So let's get some oracle cards for pile number 3 when it comes to this person. I think for a lot of you guys it's romantic, but for some of you guys, if you don't have any romantic connections in your life, this could be a deep friendship. Or a friendship that you hope to deepen. Alright, pile number 3. Got this snake popped out, and it is gnomes. I knew it just from this. I didn't even see the word, but I just saw the top half of the card and I knew it was gonna be gnomes. This is such a silly little energy. But yeah, so It says humanity, friendship, hard work, little visions. So honestly, what I'm getting from this is, it's not gnomes, but I think trolls, maybe? Trolls, or I don't know, like something like gnomes or trolls or something, mythological creature like that. I think they have like the reputation for being very sneaky and very secretive, and deceitful, and like almost like tricksters. That's giving me the vibe of this person, gnome. So it's like a cute little adorable energy, the gnome in your backyard, but then it's almost giving me the vibe of like, I don't know, like you think you put the gnome in one area of your backyard, but then you turn your back and it's in another area of your backyard, and you're like, oh my god, did that gnome just move? And it like scares you all of a sudden. But it's like, oh no, I'm just a cute little gnome. Oh my god, for some reason this is like literally reminding me of like Chucky or something, or like, your stereotypical like horror movie, like creepy doll story trope. But yeah, that's what this is giving me, you guys. It's giving me like definitely like a trickster energy. This person cannot be trusted, I'll tell you that. They're definitely presenting like a different side of themselves to you, than I think they portray to other people. Basically, they make themselves out to be whoever they want to be in the moment. They don't really think twice about it, you guys. Honestly, they're just happy to get what they want. Yeah. It says hard work. I think that's about you, I think you've put a lot of effort into this relationship, especially with the 8 of Coins. I don't think that you like hearing this message, and I'm honestly very sorry to deliver it to you guys, because the Ace of Cups and 3 of Cups, honestly, like, it's still beautiful energy. It's loving energy. It's warm energy. It's emotional energy. But I mean, with Justice here, it is just such a blocked energy, You are freely able and willing to give your love to this person, and this person is so willing to screw you over without a second thought. It's making me angry on your behalf, because you guys do deserve so much more than that. But let's get some advice for pile number 2. No, I mean pile number 3. Some final advice for pile number 3. Oof, that just like flopped around, guys. And I have to like walk around the table and get it. Aww. So, this card is Lioness. You've earned all your stripes. Yeah. So I feel like you guys have you've been around the block, I don't think you're really a stranger to people sort of stringing you along, if I'm being honest. You've earned all your stripes. It tells me you've been here before. This isn't the first time that this situation has occurred for you. But I think maybe it's the first time where this person has they've put in such effort to sort of keep up the guise. And I think that it does make you assume, or it made you think that this person was the real deal, especially with Keanu Reeves. It gives me such a genuine energy, such a down-to-earth energy, I love Keanu Reeves. Everyone loves Keanu Reeves. But this person isn't Keanu Reeves. He's like his evil twin brother. Let's get another card of advice for pile number 3. When it comes to this snake, so many cards have been almost coming out, but not, which is interesting. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. So honestly, guys, what I'm getting from this is, I think, especially combined with Lioness, earned all your stripes. Oof, yes. I'm so glad I put these together, because do you see that 13, 12? It just sort of reiterates my message. Okay, guys, you've earned all your stripes. I think this is going to be the last time you have to deal with a situation like this. I think this is going to be the last time you're going to have a person in your life like this. If I'm being honest, I don't want to, boil this down to anything. I don't want to minimize or reduce your feelings in any way. But I feel like, this could be maybe a cycle, maybe things that you've experienced before, a cycle you've been through when it comes to love and connections and people in general in your life. You've given them a lot of energy, a lot of trust, a lot of love of yours, and they've sort of haven't given a lot in return, and they've sort of been baiting you on. But you just, every time you think, oh, but I can feel their energy, I can feel how much they love me, I can feel how much I love them, it must be real. And I think that you've just been sort of stuck in this cycle of believing your feelings more than believing their actions. And so I feel like this situation is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's going to be the final straw. It's going to be the instance where you sort of put your foot down and say, okay, no, I'm not going to let you dangle this pentacle right in front of my face. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to choose myself. Eight of Cups, I am going to abandon you, I'm afraid of you abandoning me, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself and my energy and my emotions to someone who is not willing to give me the commitment and the, boundaries that I want, who's not going to respect the boundaries that I want them to. And I think that expectations, you can expect to meet, someone that you can have a real fulfilling relationship with after this person. I think that this person is going to be, Eight of Coins. I think after this person, after you break off this person, you are going to meet the person in which you'll be able to have that 9 and then 10 of Coins with, You're going to, I think this is going to be the last person, because whenever I get cards that are, counting down, 13 and 12, it's telling me that something imminently is happening soon. And so I think that right after this person, you close out this cycle with this person. And I feel like this is a cycle that you've been through before, where you give your energy where it's not reciprocated. Once you close that out, I think that you are going to meet someone that you'll be able to build a whole new cycle with, someone that you'll be able to sort of establish a new healthy cycle in relationships with, where you are, you're given energy in return, where they do things for you, where they show you how much they appreciate you, and it's not just you begging for their attention and being okay with the very least minimal effort that they give in, This is someone who's going to, say exactly what's on their mind. They're going to be their authentic self to you, and you're not going to have to struggle to sort of decipher what's the truth and if they're going to act on that truth or not. Because, that's a big message that comes out here. There's a big difference between words versus actions. I feel like this person that you're currently dealing with is, they have a lot of the right words, but they do not have the right actions. And, you're being called to just notice those actions and how those actions make you feel, because words can only do so much. Yeah. But alright, pile number 3, I'm going to leave it here, you guys. I hope that reading resonated for you guys. I hope that it clarified some stuff. If it did, please do subscribe, because it really does help out my channel. I'm a small channel, and so the more subscribers really helps my content. But alright guys, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hey, pile number 4, if you guys chose this Tiger's Eye, this will be your reading all about any snakes in your energetic field or in your life in general. So I'll start off with the tarot cards that I got for you guys. So we first had the 4 of Cups and Temperance. And then we had the Moon and Judgment. So honestly, the energy I was getting with this, you guys, was a little ambiguous. I'm not getting that. I mean, look at this. We don't have any people. I mean, we have characters that are represented in the cards, but we don't have any, we don't have any court cards or any, we have this major arcana of the Temperance, but it's, Temperance is about the concept of temperance and balance. It's not, it's not something like the Devil or the Hierophant, where the concept is sort of like an entity or a person almost. So I'm getting, for you guys, not to say, I think that currently, you guys, the snakes that are in your energetic field are the ones that you know about. And I think that honestly, right now as it stands, you don't have many of them. You don't have many snakes, because I think that you are freshly out of a period of really asserting your boundaries hard. I'm getting the vibe that you guys, you know, this has been you. You've been in this energy. You've been dumping out cups that have been offered to you that you recognize are not what you actually want. You've been noticing, and I don't think these are even cups that are necessarily have been offered to you. You're noticing cups that you've already had in your life and how they're filled with things that you don't want them to be filled with. And so you're dumping it out and you're creating balance. I love the joint imagery in these cards, how both people are dumping things out, but the difference is in Temperance. In this card, in one hand he has something dumped out and then he's looking straight ahead, like sort of at us, and then in the other hand he has a dove flying out of a raised glass. So this gives me the vibe that it's almost telling a story where you started out in an energy of having connections, honestly, in your life, people, situations that you recognized were not giving you the energy that you wanted them to give you. They were not, they didn't, the role that they filled in your life, like the part of the puzzle that they filled, you realized it wasn't exactly the right puzzle piece, or maybe it made the puzzle look a way that you, and you wanted it to look a different way, you know? You didn't like the way that it looked, and you knew that the way that you did want it to look. It's very intentional though, you know? So you're recognizing that these things in your life are very much not aligned with you as it stands right now. And you're realizing that before you didn't really put much thought into that, or maybe you just simply took these energies for granted, or you just you know, it was almost a vibe of it was easier to have the things stick around than to cut them out. So it's gonna be the energy that, you know, this is just sort of like a whole way of life almost, you know? I think that this is almost like an old way of life that you were living. You know, maybe when you were a kid, you had a certain set of friends and you dressed a certain way, and you just sort of, you lived your life as embodying a very specific type of person, and maybe it was only part of who you are. And maybe now you're realizing that you don't want to limit yourself in that way, and so, you know, you're recognizing that, okay, maybe this friend that you had, you know, they were a little judgy if you ever wanted to dress, you know, in a different way. Maybe you wanted to dress a little more provocatively. Maybe you wanted to dress a little more like, you know, in a gender bending way or something, you know, gender non-conforming or androgynous way. You know, maybe you just wanted to dress like the other gender or another gender or something. But, you know, I think that you just, you know, you had connections in your life that were very rigid in what they wanted and what they expected out of you, because they were part of a rigid way of life that you had before. And I think you're recognizing that you don't want to be stuck in that rigidity. You don't want to be stuck as one type of person. And so you were cutting off people, or, you know, limiting your energy in connections where you felt that rigidity was being reinforced. And, you know, at first maybe your head was a little down, you were a little disappointed that you had to cut off these things because they were things that you've known for such a long time and that you're familiar with and you're comfortable with. But, you know, soon afterwards you gained the confidence to lift your head up because you realize that now you're being able to consciously create sort of the life and the situation and the connections that you want to create. So that's a beautiful little story to have for you guys. And then, yeah, the Moon and Judgment. I absolutely love when, you know, Judgment and Temperance comes out, or Judgment and Justice, you know, because Judgment itself can be an intense energy sometimes. This card, not so much. But in the traditional tarot, the Judgment card is a little more intense. And so it's always nice when it's balanced out by, you know, Temperance energy, because it tells me that, you know, the Judgment was cast, and the Judgment is that, you know, things are sort of like all clear now. It's giving me the vibe that this is also, you know, another sort of story that was told, you know, the Moon. I feel like you uncovered a lot of truths about yourself, though, you know. I feel like this is you. You feel like this lizard guy who's facing like your inner scorpion self, you know. These are two parts of yourself, almost like the conscious part, and you're coming face to face with your unconscious part for the first time. And whereas in the past it was very easy for you to go along with these people and these connections and these situations because it's what you were used to and it's the cups that you already had lined up for you, you're realizing, you're uncovering that unconsciously, you know, deep down, you actually you want something different from yourself. Maybe it's not that you vehemently hate these things and you resent their energies in your life, but you just want different for yourself, you know? You like this friend that you had, but you just realize they talk gossip a lot, and you just feel like you don't want to be around that, you know? You feel like you don't like the main focus of hanging out with someone being gossip, you know? You feel like you've grown a little bit since that, since having that energy, and so you just don't really feel aligned with it anymore. It's not exactly what you want, but you still like this person, so you don't cut them off, you don't storm out of their life dramatically, but you just limit their energy, you know? You don't Maybe if they text you to hang out, you're like, oh, you know, actually I'm gonna stay in tonight, but thanks for the offer, you know, I'm just feeling a little tired, I want to hang out with myself, you know? You just sort of try to limit your energy little by little, gradually, because you are realizing things about yourself, you know? And I feel like judgment, yeah, I feel like you realized things about yourself, and then after realizing that, you judged the things and the energies and the people and connections in your life accordingly, and you made the decision to withdraw your energy or not. And I feel like that's sort of where you are right now. I feel like that's the energy that you've been in. I don't think that I mean, maybe you're in the process of embodying this energy right now, but I don't think that this is something to come. I think that, yeah, so if this doesn't resonate for you at all, you know, if you haven't been in a period of your life where you're almost like hermit mode, cutting off energies in a very like boundary asserting, independent sort of way, then maybe you should choose another pile, because I think that this is the energy that this group has been in for the people who are meant to pick this group. We also had Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups, which is so interesting because I've been thinking about the Six of Cups, honestly. I was wondering if that card was going to come out, just because this is such an energy of, you know, the past and things in the past and tradition almost, you know. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Hierophant also had came out. But the Six of Cups, yeah, just reiterates to me that I think these are, you know, maybe this is even like a connection with a parent. Maybe, you know, growing up, your parents, this is like a silly little example, but just like a little example for you guys to get what I mean. Maybe, you know, your parents are really conservative and they raised you to be conservative, and, you know, maybe not even just as a political ideology, but maybe as like just in general, like they raised you in a very traditional conservative household, and maybe you realize like you're actually like you're almost like a hippie, you're very liberal and free-spirited, and you're almost like the opposite of that. Or maybe it's even just that you think you're moderate. You just don't think that you're so strictly traditional in all the ways that your parents think you are. And maybe it is that maybe you are still like politically like conservative, but you feel like you want to dress a little bit more like freely, you know? You don't want to wear, you know, button down and jeans for the rest of your life or something. You don't want to wear like a collared shirt and jeans. You want to be able to wear, you know, just like flowy pants or like sweatpants, or like maybe just like even a dress or something. You want to just, and so you're sort of, maybe before you had a very close relationship with, oh my gosh, the cards that you got actually, like getting for a lot of you, it could have been a father figure. These were I'm referencing the Cards Against Humanity cards that I picked for you guys. Haven't laid them out yet, but I know what they are. And yeah, for some of you guys, this could be a father figure, but this gives me the energy of, yeah, like your stereotypically close father-daughter bond, where your father thinks that they know you and know everything about you, and you're just like their little girl, and you don't want to like disappoint them, and you don't want to say that you feel like you're someone else, but that's sort of like what you've been realizing that you've been having to do to be happy with who you are, to feel like you're being able to be genuinely your authentic self. You realize that you did sort of have to, you know, tell your parents like, hey, I'm actually like, maybe I am liberal, or I actually like, I want to move to New York City away from the country because I want to be a star, and I just, you know, I'm a free spirit, and I don't actually want to, you know, work on your guys' ranch or whatever when I'm older. And your parents are like, what? But I thought that you loved our traditional way of life, and I thought that you loved, you know, the lifestyle that we have. They were like, I feel like I don't even know you, or maybe they feel like, oh, you're wrong, and you're misinterpreting your feelings, you know, but you sort of are so strong in what you've uncovered about yourself, and you're so strong in that, and you feel like you know yourself so well now, you're able to just sort of, you detach from these people. And it is hard still, because these are people and things that you care about, which is what the Six of Cups also tells me. But I think that you're just really realizing that, you're casting the judgment, you're realizing that you love people, but maybe they don't make you feel loved the way that you want to feel loved, or maybe they just simply put don't make you feel the way that you want to feel. And so you say, okay, I love you, but I just, I can't live at home with you anymore, Dad, because you press a lifestyle on me that I feel uncomfortable with now, because I feel like it's not completely me. And so you've been in a place of, cutting off those things, but there's still, people and connections and situations that you deeply care for, because they've been part of your life for a long time. So maybe this is a long-term friendship that, you're realizing now, maybe they're not outright like a bad friend, but maybe they just, you find that the way that they spend their time maybe is a little immature, or you find them to be a little petty, or you just in general sort of, you are noticing that they're not the person that you've built them up to be in your head, or you're realizing that you have a different type of person in mind that you want to fill their role in your life. You're saying, I want to have someone that I can look up to and admire in a different way, and I want them to be my close friend, and I want to tell my secrets to them and hang out with them instead of with you, because I don't feel the best after we hang out and all we do is gossip about people. Six of Swords, it tells me you're ready to walk away. So let's look at your Cards Against Humanity's cards. We have Darth Vader, Justin Bieber. So those two cards came out. Yeah, those instantly told me that this could be referencing like about your father, or maybe some of you guys have daddy issues, or maybe just in general, this way of life entails also like the relationship you had with your parents. Maybe, another stereotypical cheesy example, maybe you pretended to be straight your whole life, and you told your parents you were straight, and then you came out to them and they rejected you, and now you have like your parental abandonment issues, but it's like, yeah, it's like it's not just about you coming out to your parents, it's about you sort of completely shifting your way of life. You basically presented yourself as straight your entire upbringing, and then you were like, actually guys, I'm not straight. And so you sort of had to do like a complete rewiring of like the very foundations of your life, because it was like a very important part of your identity you sort of like a little bit altered. So we have the American Dream, a bleached butthole, and self-loathing. Yeah, so it's telling me that the people like around you very much, or I think that whatever it is that you had been cutting off was sort of like a false dream instilled in you by other people or by a situation that you were born into. Yeah, this gives me the vibe of like the person born into a family of doctors who was raised their whole life to be a doctor, and then at the last minute they, reflected and realized, actually, I like helping people, but I actually don't have an interest in medicine, but maybe I'll be like an elementary school teacher, and so you're just sort of, yeah, but like the people around you just, they fed you a dream, a very manicured dream, a dream that I don't think, this is a way of life that I think a lot of people around you acted very okay with, but just because they didn't really think about it and reflect in the way that you did. And, there is an energy of like you almost up until this point you were doing the same thing, you were just like almost like a sheep going with the herd. Everyone around you and your family is going to be a doctor, so you're like, okay, I'll be a doctor too, but and then you realize, actually, it's not what brings me happiness, and then your family's trying to invalidate you, but they don't realize that actually it's also not really what brings them happiness, it's just simply what they were groomed to do and what brings them, sort of the lifestyle that they want to live. But I think that, there's sort of an energy of the people around you are not really thinking as much about this situation that they put themselves in as much as you are. Yeah, so this is like, if it's like, a traditional religious household or something, you know, you're second guessing your religion and everyone around you is like, how dare you do that? But in reality, like, maybe they would have the same doubts as you, but they're just not even asking the questions that you are asking. So I have some more cards: the friend zone, the last man on earth, the next big thing. Yeah. For a lot of you guys, this could be a friend. I mean, with the friend zone and the last man on earth, it just reminds me of, you know, like the sort of like the lines in movies that go like, I wouldn't date you if you were the last man on earth. That's what this sort of energy is. Not to say like that's the actual like energy that you're like embodying, like that sort of like sassy, mean-spirited energy, but just like, you know, you're saying, I know what I want, and I am not going to turn to you even if, like, literally I have no other option, you know? Like, I know I don't want to be a doctor, and even if that's the last, you know, even if that's the last job available, I know that I don't like being a doctor, so I'm not gonna be a doctor. I mean, maybe in that situation you would actually be a doctor if there's literally no other jobs available, but, like, you know, just an example. We have slippery, smart, and silly. I like all three S's. But with, you know, silly, I think that that's the energy of the Six of Cups. I think that, you know, this was a real, actual relationship that you guys had for a long time. These are people, situations that you had good memories with. This is a religion that maybe you do feel really close to God, and you really, you know, you had some really beautiful moments in your religion. Maybe you enjoyed, like, the traditions in your religion, and you enjoy how it makes you and your family come closer together. But, you know, you were realizing it was a slippery slope that you were going down, you know? You were committing yourself a little too much to a lifestyle that you were beginning to doubt more and more. And so you were thinking, oh, I better, you know, cut this out, nip it in the bud before it spirals out of control, basically, and before this becomes my life and I become stuck in it the way that the people around me are stuck in it. Yeah, so this isn't, let's get some final advice for you guys, because yeah, this isn't like really any snakes around you, but this is like the energy that you guys have been in. So I feel like right now, like, you've been realizing the deceiving energies in your life, and I don't think that they're consciously deceiving, but I think that they're just simply, it's a situation or like a lifestyle, or, you know, a bunch of connections in your life that's just, you're realizing now it's not aligned with you, and you had cut them off recently. And yeah, this reading, maybe you come to this reading for validation, but the main message that's coming out for you guys is that you were very much right in doing that. You did uncover the truth when you reflected, and, you know, you abandoned the right cups, and because, you know, you're gonna get this dove flying out of your next cup before you know it. You cast the right judgment. So let's get some final advice for pile number 4. Got some final advice for pile number 4. We have, so this came out with another pile, Lioness, you've earned all your stripes. Yeah, so you cut out these energies, you did the work, you earned it. You're gonna start making the life and the situation for yourself that you want to. This is giving me the vibe that you had an idea of what you wanted to replace this energy with, you know? You cut off these old friendships that were toxic or maybe they weren't even toxic, but you cut them off or just limited your energy because you realized you wanted a friend that's not so immature, but it's because you realize you also wanted a friend that is mature, you know? You realize what it is that you wanted. And through realizing what it is that you wanted, you were realizing that the things that you had in your life were not that. You know, the friends in your life were not, they weren't mature in the way that you wanted them to be. Garden, something lovely will grow from this. Yes, exactly. So by cutting off these things, you have earned all your stripes, and you're going to allow something beautiful to grow from this. You're going to gain that friendship that is like a very mature, trustworthy person. You know, I feel like this other friend, you know, maybe they were super loyal and trustworthy too, but they also just like, you know, they spent their time. Maybe they were super loyal, but they weren't very trustworthy, you know? They were loyal to you, but you couldn't trust them because they talk shit about other people behind their backs. So you were like, are you going to talk shit about me behind my back? And so, you know, you realized they weren't mature in that way. So you cut them out, and now you're going to very much like come across a friend and have a deep friendship that will be loyal in that way, but also they'll be trustworthy in the way that this person wasn't. You know, this is you leaving behind a religion because you felt like they had, you know, maybe the things that they preached weren't always morally correct to you, you felt all the time, or maybe it was a little too morally ambiguous, and you felt that that organized religion, you know, did not do the best job of clarifying what it means, and so a lot of people took it and warped its words. And so this is you finding, you know, the religion or the spiritual path that you feel like is able to express you and your relationship with the universe in the way that you want it to. So something beautiful will grow from this, something lovely will grow from this, you guys. But pile number 4, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope it resonated with you guys. If it did, please comment down below, but also please do subscribe because it really does help out my channel. I am a very small channel, so, you know, subscribing really helps get my content out there and helps me make more stuff for you guys. But alright, I'm going to leave it here, pile number 4. I hope you have a nice day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye, guys.